So we received something this week, a piece that I think really landed for a lot of people. It's about that journey you take when you suddenly realize maybe you don't know yourself quite as well as you thought.
Right. It taps into something quite profound, doesn't it? How we can sort of move through life with all our preferences clear, but still feel, well, a bit disconnected from who we really are underneath it all.
Exactly. And this piece, it paints such a vivid picture. The author felt, pretty self-aware. They liked sage green, hated olives, loved airports.
The classic list.
Totally. Books over parties, silence over noise, rain over sun. Sounds like someone who knows their mind, right?
It does. It feels solid.
But the realization was that's maybe more like knowing your favorite snacks than knowing your actual soul,
That's a great way to put it. We collect these preferences, almost curate them, like building a personal brand.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to mistake that brand, that collection of likes and dislikes for, well, the genuine self. The piece really digs into the why behind those things, not just the what.
And the big moment, the sort of wake-up call, came during quiet time, unexpectedly. It wasn't the usual comforting silence. Apparently, it amplified all the thoughts they've been pushing away.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah.
How much of our busyness is maybe just noise to avoid,
Yeah.
well, ourselves?
Seriously.
That quiet, when you really let it in, can be pretty confronting. It forces you to face things. The facade starts to crack a bit.
Yeah, and the piece connects this to how society kind of accidentally pushes us towards this illusion of knowing yourself.
How so?
Well, think about school, work, even relationships. There's this constant pressure, isn't there, to perform, to fit in, to present a certain way.
Ah, right, the roles we play.
Exactly. The author calls them identities like costumes, job titles, your Instagram bio, the whole aesthetic you build. It's all about perception.
It really is. We get so good at playing these parts, meeting expectations, that the line blurs. We forget who we are without the costume. Like you said, method acting gone wild. You become the character you play every day. Think about how we introduce ourselves often with our job title first.
Oh, definitely. It's shorthand.
But it can overshadow everything else.
And that leads to this really direct question the author throws out there. It stumped me for a second.
What was it?
If you suddenly lost your job, your followers, and your schedule, who would you be without them?
Oof. Yeah.
The author admits feeling actual terror at not having an immediate answer, which says a lot, I think, about how tied up we get in those external things.
It's like stripping everything back, isn't it? Down to the studs. What's left when all those labels and roles disappear?
Exactly.
And yeah, not having a quick answer, that can be really unsettling. It shows how much we might rely on those outside things to define us.
There was also this really poignant bit about a breakup. What struck the author wasn't so much grieving the person they lost, but grieving the version of themselves they'd built in that relationship.
Wow. That's insightful.
Yeah, realizing their identity had gotten so tangled up with the partner that the me they knew, it wasn't entirely their own. I think a lot of people might relate to that feeling.
Oh, absolutely. Relationships are mirrors, aren't they? And sometimes we shape ourselves to fit the reflection we see or the one we want to see.
Right.
So when that mirror is gone, it's disorienting. It really highlights that difference between sharing a life and, well, building your whole identity around someone else. Are they defining you or just enriching you?
So the big takeaway message feels like what you like isn't who you are. It's one thing to list your favorite color or food.
Easy stuff.
But the real work, the deeper stuff, starts when you ask why. Why do you like that? Is it genuine joy? Or just habit? Is it coming from inside or from somewhere else entirely?
That questioning, that's the key, isn't it? Moving from just accepting your tastes to actively exploring where they come from.
Yeah.
Are these choices truly yours, rooted in your values? Or are you, following the path of least resistance or what you think others expect, getting off autopilot?
And the author talks about this process of unlearning, which sounds uncomfortable. Pushing back against yourself, saying no more often.
It definitely takes courage.
Yeah.
It's not easy. Saying no can trigger guilt, fear of letting people down.
Totally.
And facing uncomfortable truths about yourself.
Yeah.
That demands real honesty, real vulnerability. But, like exercise, the growth happens because of the discomfort, not in spite of it.
Right. You got to strain the muscle. And it was in that discomfort that the author found these moments that, as they put it, stripped them down in a good way.
Okay. Like what?
Simple things, really. Saying no to a party they didn't want to go to. Sitting
Right.
alone in a coffee shop without immediately grabbing their phone.
Resisting the distraction reflex.
Yeah. Journaling the hard stuff.
Yeah.
And just asking regularly, what do I want today? Not what I should want, but what I genuinely want.
Those are great examples of creating intentional space. Tuning out the noise, letting your own voice come through. That question, what do I want today, shifts the focus inward. It's about taking back control, choice by choice.
And then there are the practical things, the tools that actually helped.
Okay.
Not magic fixes, but practices. Nightly journaling seems key. Intentionally sitting in silence.
Building that tolerance for quiet.
Learning to say no without over-explaining or apologizing for it.
Right.
Purposeful solitude, actually scheduling time alone. And therapy was mentioned too.
Yeah. And the emphasis on practice is so important. This isn't a one-and-done thing, is it? Self-awareness isn't a destination.
Right.
It's more like tending a garden. It needs ongoing attention. These tools just give you a way to do that regularly, to check in, see what's growing, what needs weeding.
I liked how honest the author was about it not being this linear path to enlightenment.
Definitely.
It's described more like a loop. You try something, maybe you mess up, you reflect, you learn, you try again, it keeps going.
That feels much more real, doesn't it? We're always changing, always evolving. Our self-understanding has to evolve too. There will be confusion, missteps. That's part of it. The key is just staying in that loop of trying and reflecting.
And even within that loop, the author noticed real positive changes starting to happen.
Like what?
Like becoming aware of their feelings or motives more quickly, starting to question their own why more often.
Okay, that self-inquiry habit building.
Yeah. And getting better at just sitting with discomfort instead of immediately trying to fix it or run away from it.
That's huge. That shows growing self-acceptance, less need for external fixes.
And this big one. Understanding that being alone doesn't have to mean being lonely. It can actually mean feeling whole, complete in yourself.
That's a powerful shift. Moving towards self-reliance, finding strength in solitude. It's a sign of a really strong inner foundation.
The piece doesn't sugarcoat it, though. It ends by emphasizing the hard work.
It is hard work.
Says there might be tears. You might disappoint people when you start setting boundaries differently. You have to confront beliefs you've held forever that maybe aren't even yours.
All true. It can be challenging territory.
But the payoff, this feeling of peace, knowing that whatever happens externally, you've got you. And that feeling, that's enough. That sounds, well, incredibly freeing.
It really is. That inner security, that self-trust that isn't dependent on your job title or relationship status or follower count, that's the real reward. Finding that deep okayness within yourself.
So maybe something to think about after this. Just pick one small thing, a preference you have, a little habit, and just get curious about it. Where did it actually come from? What's it really doing for you? You might be surprised what you find if you start digging.